Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in for another episode. We are up north right now. Actually got some snow last night, so we drove through a little bit of snow. I guess I didn't drive through it, but there's snow on the side of the roads. We don't have any right here. It's about 45 degrees is going to be the high today. It's about 35 right now. And I am at a lake that I haven't fished in 10 or 12 years, probably, maybe 15. And I gotta tell you, I'm excited. I'm excited and kind of not excited. So I fished it probably 3 or 4 times years ago. And when I fished it, it's got the fattest smallmouth bass I have ever caught. At least it did. I'm hoping it still does. And what kept me coming back was the size, the fatness of these fish. It would make you laugh at times how fat they were. And it was always like, if I can catch a 20-incher, it's going to weigh 7 pounds. Well, I don't know that we ever caught any over 5. They were like 18 and a half inches long. I'm hoping those fish may have grown up. So, you know, this is the first year I've gotten to come up north to really chase the smallmouth that I like to chase. And it's kind of hard to, I only have limited time. And to come to a lake where I don't know that I've got true potential at a 7-pounder or 8-pounder, you know, you want to go to those lakes where you know you have it. I don't know I have it here because I've never seen a truly big smallmouth, but the fish are so fat. I feel like, man, if you catch a big one, you can put the pounds on fast. So we're suiting up, throwing the old Striker Denali, insulated Denali suit. This is the best cold weather suit out there. Primaloft line, super light, extremely warm. So I'm gonna get everything situated, get everything moved into the boat. We just pulled up here. I'm always so excited to fish up north. Let's get this going. So let me get all this ready. We'll get out in the boat. It's about, I don't know, it's probably 10 o'clock right now, so it's a little later than I wanted to in terms of getting here, but the bite generally doesn't start till 10 o'clock anyways. And let's get out. Let's go. Is he fat? Not really. I mean, for a little guy, he's not bad, but he's really not that fat. Dang. It takes so long to find these spots. I'm fishing like 25 to 30 foot, and I know it's not isolated rocks, but it's like rock veins. And with no graphs, it's really hard to figure out where I need to be. And you know, like, I know I've just kind of figured out this one, and that was probably the third cast that I think was a real good cast. Hopefully there's more. Usually when you find them this time of year, there's going to be more in that same spot. Not a giant, but this is kind of getting back at, I mean, that fish is probably 2 pounds and he's probably 14 inches. Still not quite what they were like before, but this, so I'm throwing a 3/4 ounce Picasso tungsten football jig, and it was really allowing me to get down to feel the rocks. Like I said, it's just kind of one little rock vein that runs along here. It's probably 50 yards. It's maybe, I don't know, I remember it being like 20. There's another one. Oh, I dropped it. It's probably 20 feet wide, and it took a little while to find it. And the jig, the Picasso tungsten football jig, really helped me locate it, just from the standpoint of being able to feel the bottom real good and being a nice heavy bait to stay in bottom contact. And it's a great bait for catching some of these late season smallmouth. It also is good at finding some of those rock crevices. That one feels real good. Oh, that one feels good, guys. What do we got? Oh, yeah. Look at the belly on that fish. Let's get that fish. It's got the old tungsten football jig good too. Come here. Golly. You're definitely fat. You're definitely red. I love that. Got me all. That's such a beautiful fish. Look how red that fish is. I don't know why they're like that here. You're not long. I want to weigh you. Let's get the Bubba scale out. Like, I don't know if that fish is 18 inches long. It's probably 17 inches long. I don't think you're that heavy. You're probably, I don't know, 3.5 pounds. Let's see. Yeah, you're not even that heavy. You're just fat. 3.2. You're not long. Okay. Well, the wind is really whipped up today, so we're fishing more break lines right now. Not that it was so hard I couldn't fish some of the stuff. It doesn't make for good video. Like, it's just terrible video. So we've moved to some shoreline related stuff, just little banks with some rock on it, you know, some steeper sloping stuff, and we're just, I guess, kind of staying out of the wind just so that we can hopefully get some audio that's not just the sound of wind. That's like my biggest pet peeve, guys, is a bunch of audio that just sounds terrible, especially if you get a nice fish catch. And I know if I stay off on some of that offshore stuff, it's going to be not ideal for listening to, so we're just kind of, we're going to try to hit some of this more maybe protected stuff. I don't know, we'll be bouncing around, but it's kind of the first actual shoreline break we hit, and we caught one, so let's see if we can catch another. One of the things that I love about a tungsten football jig is just how good you can feel everything. Like right now, you know, I know from past experience that this time of year, a lot of times what you're trying to find are those little patches of rock. And you know, up here, when I say rock, it's not like boulder. It's really hard to explain. It's almost like a lava rock. It's a real black rock. It's real porous. You'll catch them a lot of times on your baits. You know, you'll actually put a hook right through one of the holes in the rock and catch it. And it's like baseball sized. And I can feel, like, I throw my jig up and you don't really feel much. You know, you're on the bottom, you can feel it. And then if you watch my rod tip, it's like I've just hit a patch. Like I'm in the patch right now. And I can just, it just feels like shells almost. I guess that's how I would explain it. You know, ledge fishermen know what I'm talking about. You know, you drag it and it's like, yeah, it feels kind of mushy, and all of a sudden it just feels sticky. And that's a lot of times that's your shell beds. It's the same sort of thing that you're trying to feel this time of year for the smallmouth. And if you, boy, that, sometimes it feels like a bite sometimes when you hit that stuff. But the tungsten just relays that so good. Like you get much better feel with the tungsten over your traditional lead. And for smallmouth, I love a smaller profiled one, you know, like this Picasso. This is just their straight tungsten football jig. It's got their titanium wire weed guards on there. This is just a black and a blue with some chartreuse in it, which is a color I like. I have lost a couple of jigs today because I've gotten down in the rocks and not much you can do when you're 25-30 feet down, but it just, you have such good feel. And right now, especially without having any electronics, I need that feel. Like I could be fishing a jerk bait or whatever, but I want to know when I'm in that key zone. When I'm in that key zone, you'll feel it. You know, it just transfers so good. And that's one thing I think a lot of people really underestimate, the importance of tungsten if you're trying to understand what's on the bottom. I mean, with lead, I feel like if you hit a stump, it feels like a rock. It feels like a laydown. It feels, you know, anything hard kind of feels the same with lead. With tungsten, you can actually almost feel like the hardness of the object that you hit. It makes a big difference. I really honestly feel that way. One of the other really nice things about throwing a football jig versus a lot of your other bottom baits is it's weedless. You know, northern Wisconsin was, most of the lakes up in this area were formed for logging purposes. So the bottoms of these lakes are littered with old logs, to the point where, you know, if you were to throw something with exposed hooks, you're going to get snagged, you're going to break off left and right. So, you know, a lot of these, and a lot of the places where the logs got stuck happen to be the fish holding places, just because that's where a lot of your hard bottom is. You know, they got stuck on some of the points, some of the rock bars. things like that. There's also, it's not legal to put brush piles in, but the state puts in what we call fish cribs, which are basically log piles that they dump in. Basically a brush pile, but you know, you're fishing around, and I mean, I'm hitting logs, hitting all kinds of stuff. Like, I know the spot that I'm fishing now has a bunch of logs on it, and if I were to throw something that was exposed, I'd be getting stuck left and right. So it's really nice to be able to work the jig over that and just get your bait to where the fish are holding. Well, it's football season for a reason, everyone. Go get yourself some football jigs. I think tungsten is the way to go this time of year. I really think it makes a big difference. Go find yourself some saddles, some humps, some hard spots, steep braking contour lines. Those are the types of places the fish are going to be sitting this, you know, as we get into much cooler temperatures, pretty much regardless of where you're at. You know, you could be down in Tennessee or you could be up here in Wisconsin. The thing is, these fish are really going to start getting on some of those hard spots and like to have deeper water nearby. And the football jig is a great way to attack it. So go get yourself some Picasso tungsten football jigs, 3-inch Berkeley Pit Boss on the back, and get out there. We still have lots of time. You can get out there before and after the football games if you want. Anyways, thanks for watching, everyone. I appreciate all the support, and stay tuned. We'll have a new video coming out tomorrow.